Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are back with a new video. You guys, as I'm speaking right now, the HD processing of House Flipper is being processed right now. It's getting checked for demonetization, certain circumstances when it comes to it possibly getting blocked. But none of that should happen because I just played the game. But I went and flipped through a couple of these trades, and I've been kind of curious and wanted to give my thought process on this Bleacher Report article. One trade for every team not in the 2022 NBA Finals. So tonight, the day I'm making this, that also was House Flipper. You had the NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors. I am hoping that the Boston Celtics win it, but it's Golden State. You got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Kuminga, Draymond Green, Kevin Looney. The team is stacked. Moses Moody, Andrew Wiggins. They are a pretty stacked team, but who do I have winning it? Man, I'm gonna have to go with. Trying to think. I want the Boston Celtics to win it, and I'm going to stick with Boston win it. Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, the Williams, Grant, and Robert. Even though Robert is a little bit hurt, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard. They have pretty good squad going on with them. Derek White. So they got quite the squad too. They're young, athletic. Jason Tatum is just blossoming into one of the best players in the league. Mark Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. So that is my take. I believe that we'll be seeing Boston Celtics win their 18th title, which will pass the Lakers. They're both tied at 17, and then. Yeah. Or does Lakers have 18? They might have 18. Because I know that they were at one point tied. I think they have 18 because of LeBron and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis winning that title back in 2020. It might be them. But all this being said, let's hop right into some trades. Some possible trades that could be pretty key for some teams. Atlanta, OKC, Portland gives a 3-team pre-draft trade. We're going to start with Atlanta Hawks getting number 30 in Kenrich Williams. Oklahoma City receive Danilo Gallinari and number 7. Portland receives number 12 and 16. So when I initially saw this trade, I thought, why is Portland put into this circumstance? Because Kenrich Williams is from the Thunder. And then Danilo Gallinari is for the Hawks. But I'm guessing that 30th pick is what Portland had. And then, Portland had, and so they traded it to the Hawks, and then they get the 16th pick, because I believe the Thunder have the 12th pick. But it's not a bad trade. I like that, again, Oklahoma City is still rebuilding. They're going to take that salary cap hit with Danilo Gallinari. $5 million is partially guaranteed for next season. That's not that big of a deal for Oklahoma City. They don't have much other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Derek Favors. Outside of those two, you don't really have much salary nuances and worriness about money for right now because they're a rebuilding young squad. Kenrich Williams is a good defending guard that would be good for the Atlanta Hawks. They do lose a pick, but they still get to go and still have the 30th pick in the draft. And to them, they need to get more guard depth that are good defending guards. And so it's not a bad trade. And then, of course, Portland getting 12 and 16, that is a game changer because they still have the 7th pick in the draft, I believe, because they're right behind the Pacers. So it's overall a good trade for everyone in this circumstance. Let's move on to Cleveland takes alternative route to grab a wing from Charlotte. This trade is Charlotte Hornets receive Kevin Love and Cedi Osman. Cleveland receive Gordon Hayward, Mason Plumlee, and Boston's 2024 second round pick. It's intriguing. To me, Charlotte does win this trade right here for the fact that you get a healthy Kevin Love. Cedi Osman is a really good wing player. I like that trade a lot for Charlotte. Kevin Love is still a good rebounder, which is something that they are really missing and hurting on. And you get that salary cap of Gordon Hayward versus Kevin Love. They're going to pretty much cancel out one another in that circumstance. But I like it for Charlotte more so for the fact that you get Cedi Osman, a very underrated shooting guard forward kind of player that is a bucket. You still able to keep Kelly Oubre in this trade. I like it a lot more for that fact. Yes, Cleveland does get their wing player in Gordon Hayward, but he's very injury prone. Mason Plumlee is a good backup center, but you already have Lauri Markkanen, Mobley, and Allen. Yes, Mobley did get hurt towards the end of the year, but it's not a bad trade, but I'm not in love with it for Cleveland. Again, I love it more so for Charlotte. Next up, Dallas tries to get a big from Sacramento. Richaun Holmes goes to Dallas, and Sacramento receive number 26, Dwight Powell, and the 2024 second round pick. To me, if I am Sacramento, I'm wanting to get Maxi Kleber to be able to stretch that floor, because again, you already have Sabonis, who's going to be their key player when it comes to the getting to the rim, posting up, so on and so forth. Yes, he'd be a good backup 5 for them, because that's what Richaun Holmes has kind of dwindled down to. But getting Maxi Kleber to be able to stretch the floor to go along with Sabonis, Davion Mitchell, and De'Aaron Fox, depending on if they re-sign Harrison Barnes, it would be a better move in that circumstance. I'd be willing to not take the 26th pick and just get Dwight Powell and get that 2024 first round pick or second round pick is a more ideal circumstance, in that fact that you get a stretch 4 to go along with Domantas Sabonis. But it's not a bad trade for Sacramento. It is a lot better of a trade for Dallas, though. They really need a good rebounding big. Richaun Holmes is an excellent center. He averages like 1.6 blocks. I think he almost averages nearly 2 blocks a game. I want to say he averages 2 blocks a game. Gives you a ton of rebounds. Is a decent pick and roll center. So I really would love this for Dallas' sake. You only lose a 2020 second round pick and a 2024 or number 26 pick and a 2024 second round pick. Dwight Powell's a good center for a power forward center combo, but he's not a game changer like a Richaun Holmes when it comes to that center position that they are heavily missing right now. And so I like it more so for Dallas than Sacramento for that fact of the Dwight Powell instead of Maxi Kleber. Next up, 4-team mini buster featuring Denver, Philadelphia, Chicago, and OKC. Denver Nuggets receive Matisse Thybulle. Philadelphia receives Zeke Nnaji, Kendrick Williams in the 30th pick. Chicago Bulls get Furkan Korkmaz into Daniel Tice trade exception. 2023 second round pick and 2026 second round pick. And then Oklahoma City received the number 21 pick, 21st pick. Again, this Thunder are giving up Kenrick Williams, and they get the 21st pick. So, again, it's all about building momentum for the Thunder. Any way of getting higher into the draft to get some really young young players, because this is a pretty deep draft, is always good. Chicago, this is to me more of this feels like a scenario that when it comes to the Chicago Bulls, you're not really trading away anybody in this circumstance. I'm looking to see, they're not trading anyone away. It just feels like, I don't know how to really feel about the Chicago Bulls. I have to read a little bit into this right here in a second. Philadelphia, Kenrick Williams, again, we talked about that in the previous trade, is a good defending guard. I like him a lot. Zeke is a good guard also, or forward, that plays for Denver, and the 30th pick gets some more depth because they are hurting on so much depth after that Ben Simmons, James Harden trade is not bad. But to lose Matisse Thybulle, and you get two players that, yes, Matisse is not able to play in Toronto because he has not got the vaccination, does hurt them a lot, but to lose him potentially forever because you're trading him away to Denver, I like it. I like it for Denver. This is a hell of a trade. This is by far the best scenario for them. Or of all four teams, the Denver Nuggets win this trade hands down because I love Matisse Thybulle, a nice backup, small forward, power forward, like not Otto Porter, but Michael Porter Jr. When he's hurt, Matisse Thybulle can come right in. Great defending power or small forward, shooting guard, power forward. He's kind of a bigger kid. I like that a lot for Denver if they are able to get Matisse Thybulle. So out of all four teams, I like the Denver Nuggets one. To me, Chicago, it kind of feels a little bit random because Korkmaz is a great three-point shooter. His playmaking's good. / it's decent. I'm just not the biggest fan of the Chicago trade. Or in this trade scenario, not the biggest fan of that one. Yes, 2 second-round picks are nice, but does that help change Zach LaVine's mind to re-sign with them? I don't think so. Let's see what does it say about Chicago as to why they're doing this for. Moving Korkmaz into trade exception. Blah blah blah. It shouldn't have any issues. It's essentially turning an expiring trade exception into a human trade exception. Bulls might not even need the promise of a real second rounder. Yeah, I guess in that scenario, it's a trade exception to just be able to get an actual person in that trade exception is, I guess, just the key thing. So that's not too bad, I guess, then. Lakers reconfigure rotation. New York leans into youth movement. New York gets Russell Westbrook, a 2026 first-round pick swap, top 2 protection, 2027 first-round pick, top 4 protection. Lakers receive Evan Fournier and Julius Randle. And so that's not bad. Julius Randle again would be a good. I like this for of course. I would love this actually for the Lakers because Evan Fournier is a good defending guard forward combo. Can shoot the 3-pointer pretty well. Julius Randle did have a down year. He did have a bad reputation as a player, as a teammate. but to have him go play with LeBron would be really good for him, and he'd be a good backup power forward for Anthony Davis, because I know Anthony Davis does not want to really play the 5. I guess they might slide LeBron. In this case, they might be able to slide LeBron to the point guard, because they give Russell Westbrook. They can have Julius Randle at the 3, I guess, and then Anthony Davis at the 4, or let's have him as a backup. But I know you have Evan Fournier automatically put into the starting lineup, because he'd be a hell of a small forward for them, and then have Malik Monk at the 2, and then have Randall come off the bench as 6th man until he shows that he is capable of being a starter for them. Also, if again Anthony Davis is willing to go to the 5, and then you can have Julius Randle at the 4, there's quite a bit of options in that rotation when it comes to the Lakers getting this trade. I like this because you free up a lot of salary cap. And for the Knicks, yes, you're taking on a $44 million contract, but it's only $47 million for 1 year. And then you're going to get 2 first-round picks, that top 2 and then top 4. And so they're protected. So if the Lakers somehow get first or second in 2026, you're not going to get it. And then same with the 2027, where 1 through 4, you don't be able to get it. But this trade makes it to where you could probably be able to get those first round picks for yourself, which is huge. And so it's not a bad one. And then you're able to free up that $47 million that not this upcoming year in 2022 to 2023, but at 2023 to 2024, you have $47 million freed up. It's New York. You got the Madison Square Garden. It's one of the best and most iconic arenas. The fans absolutely love their players. I like this for the New York Knicks as much, if not more, than the Lakers, because you're going to free up a lot of salary cap. There's going to be some superstars probably in 2024 that are going to, or 2023, that are going to be some pretty good free agents for you to be able to possibly be able to get to come play for your team. Memphis keeps building. Washington beefs up defense. Memphis receives the 10th pick in the draft. They also get Ish Smith, a nice little backup point guard. Washington Wizards receive DeAnthony Melton, the 2022 the number 22 pick in the draft. A 2023 first round pick, lottery protection for 2 seasons, turns into 2 seconds if not conveyed. And so, for me, there's going to be a point with this young roster that the Memphis Grizzlies have with DeAnthony Melton, Tyus Jones, that you're going to have money in certain situations that they're not going to be able to probably afford DeAnthony Melton, because he's a great defending guard, as they talked about in the title, that he's a good defending guard. It would help out Bradley Beal, because he's not the best defending guard, or he's not a defending guard at all. It would help them have a nice little backup or combo backcourt duo in that aspect. And you're still going to get a first round pick. You're not actually get 2 first round picks, and then to trade away that 10th pick, I like this for Washington. And then for Memphis to get a top 10 pick, and you just were the 2nd seed, you're going to get better. The injuries started piling up at the end of the season, and then in the postseason, John Morant did get hurt. Had a nice little backup point guard in Ish Smith. You got Tyus Jones. And to get the 10th pick in the draft, I like that a lot for this team, a lot. And so I think this is a win-win situation for both teams. Next up, we got Miami and Houston link up for Eric Gordon trade. Miami receives Eric Gordon. Houston Rockets receive Duncan Robinson, 2023 first round pick, and a 2026 second round pick. More shooting depth. Your Eric Gordon is an older veteran that he has one more year left on his contract. You can get rid of the Duncan Robinson contract. It's time to move on from Duncan Robinson. He wants to get traded. You do this trade because Eric Gordon is a good shooting guard, and he's very capable of shooting the ball really well. Not the best defending guard, but does what is needed to be done to replace Duncan Robinson. And so I don't mind that trade for Miami. I actually almost like it for more so for Houston, though, because yes, Duncan Robinson this whole year had been pretty terrible as far as what he was known for, shooting like 40+% from the 3-point line. He got even worse at defense, which says a lot because he was never a good defending guard in the first place, and he got worse. It's not a good sign at this young of an age. His contract is very heavy for how much he's making, but I like it for the fact that he is still young. He's still going to be able to have the opportunity to still grow. And for Houston, you already have so much salary cap because you don't have many young. You have a lot of young players that it would not mean too much to take on a Duncan Robinson contract. You're able to get a first round pick and a second round pick. I like that for a lot for Houston. Continue to rebuild with those picks, and you're able to get a good young player in Duncan Robinson. Hopefully he can turn his career around. Milwaukee downsizes for wing depth. Charlotte gets a big man stopgap. I really like this trade for one team specifically, really. Kelly Oubre is going to the Milwaukee Bucks. Charlotte Hornets receive Brook Lopez in a 2023 second round pick. I like it a lot more so for Kelly Oubre going to the Milwaukee Bucks because you have Chris Middleton, who is still kind of young, but Kelly Oubre as a backup would be phenomenal for the Bucks. Yes, you're going to lose the stretch 5 in Brook Lopez. He's still able to block shots. He can get you a couple rebounds. He's shooting like 40% from 3, but the fact that you already have Giannis who can get you 10 plus rebounds a game. He's still going to get you a block to 2 blocks a game. So you can slide him to the 5. You can have Kelly Oubre at the 4. Still keep Middleton at 3. They could go small ball technically, but Giannis is like 7 foot. I like that a lot from Milwaukee. And to be honest, as I was talking about this trade right now, Charlotte's not bad either. You lose out on Kelly Oubre, but like what they said, is a stopgap that you have probably, I think, 1, maybe 2 years left on Brook Lopez's contract. As I was saying, he is a stretch 5 that it would free up room for Miles Bridges to be able to go in, cut, and you have LaMelo Ball going inside. You can actually be able to pass it back out to Lopez for him shooting threes because he's developed his game to be able to shoot threes. It's not a bad trade for them. Yes, you lose your wing player in Kelly Oubre because Gordon Hayward, again, his contract's very heavy for a guy that is injury prone. But you get a good center in Brook Lopez. Again, I like it more so for Milwaukee because like what I said, the Gordon Hayward injury prone Kelly Oubre came in and he did his part as their good good wing. So I would say in this circumstance, Milwaukee wins it, but it's not that much of a gap. I like both circumstances for both teams to an extent. This is an intriguing one. Minnesota takes a risk. Orlando plays it safe. Minnesota Timberwolves receive Jonathan Isaac. Orlando receives Malik Beasley, the 19th pick, and a 2023 first round pick. Lottery projections of 1 through 14. If this does not turn out to be as well as it could be, they're gonna be able to keep their own pick. But I love the prospect of you could have Jonathan Isaac at the 4, Karl Anthony Towns at the 5, and you slide Jared Vanderbilt to the 3. And then have Anthony Edwards at the 2, D'Angelo Russell at the 1. That's a big, ginormous lineup. Because you have Anthony Edwards at 6'6". Vanderbilt, I want to say he's 6'9". Maybe even 6'10". I know Jonathan Isaac 6'11", and then Karl Anthony Towns 7, but I'm crossing my fingers, guys. Just in general, for this young man right here in the middle to get healthy. This kid, I've talked about him in so many 2K videos because I did the rebuilds, and every time he won Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm hoping for his health that he can stay healthy for a full season because this kid, there's so many young prospecting players in Jason Tatum, Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, Trae Young. This kid could be the future. This is one of the biggest what ifs in the past decade. If he can stay healthy, the kid is phenomenal. I love this kid a lot, and I hope he can stay healthy. The idea of him with Karl Anthony Towns would be sick because Karl Anthony Towns is a good defending guard or defending center. Jonathan Isaac is a great to amazing power forward center combo, even to an extent point forward because he has good ball handling. He's phenomenal. And then Vanderbilt at the 3 would be even better for them. This is a huge risk, but it could pay off huge. To an extent, it's I wouldn't say as far as a huge risk, but it is a pretty good risk for what they're trading away. That the fact that you're spending $20 million a year for the next... He just signed it this past off season? Yeah. And so he has 3 more years on his contract. $20 million a year every year for the next 3 years is a little bit... Is actually, really, to be honest, that's a hell of a deal for this kid, for the potential there. $20 million a year, that's an excellent deal, but the risk that what you're trading away, it does have that risk element. Malik Beasley, a good guard that I liked him back in the Denver days. I think he got kind of pushed under the rug once he went to Minnesota. After they traded for D'Angelo Russell, they got Anthony Edwards. He got kind of swept under the rug. I would like him to go to Orlando because you'd have so much good guard depth because of what's going on with Markelle Fultz. He's constantly injured also. Jalen Suggs kind of didn't have the best rookie year. Cole Anthony's still a stud. And so I would like this for them a lot. If you do this trade, you need to trade Terrence Ross away because another guard, forward, he keeps getting the trade rumors. He keeps falling down into the roster depth and he's not getting any playing time. And I would have wanted them to trade him away, get the 19th pick and a 2023 first round pick, and they have the number 1 pick in the draft this year. this is an excellent trade to me for the Magic. Yes, you have the potential of losing Jonathan Isaac would be devastating, but we since his rookie year during the bubble, he got hurt. Started the beginning of the season the next year, got hurt, and then he didn't play any games this year. So sometimes in life you just gotta take that risk, because with the Indiana Pacers, for example, T.J. Warren the past 2 years has been hurt, didn't play a single game. Sometimes you just have to cut your ties and try to continue to have that build and cut ties and say, by golly, I hope that you have a great career, but we need to go move on. So to me, I think it's a win-win situation in that prospect of Jonathan Isaac staying healthy for a full year. But to me, with the scenario that he has not been healthy for the past 3 years since rookie year, Orlando wins this trade, because entail of him being hurt every single year, it does not bode well for the Minnesota Timberwolves. A what if OG is available idea for Orlando and Toronto. New Orleans Pelicans receive OG Anunoby. Toronto receive Larry Nance Jr., the Trey Murphy III, and number 8 pick. To me, that's giving up a lot. By golly, OG Anunoby, since his rookie year, has gotten better every single year. He got hurt at IU. People didn't want to take a risk because of his back injury, and he's gotten better every single year. And with Toronto, that I remember listening to one person on YouTube talk about how Toronto's so good about players that people don't want to take a risk on. They do. They work to where they improve every single year, and they get better and better. And so I don't know how well he's going to do with the Pelicans, but to me, giving up the 8th pick along with Larry Nance Jr. and Trey Murphy III, that's a little bit too much to me. I think either getting Larry Nance Jr. and the 8th pick, Trey Murphy and the 8th pick, one of those players and the 8th pick, I think would, to me, be better off. That's a skin up a little bit too much, but then you could have CJ McCollum, OG Anunoby, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Valanciunas, and then off the bench, Herb Jones, that Jose Valverde. You'd have such great depth. And yes, CJ McCollum he's regressed as a defending guard. Or not even defending, he's just not a guard that does not defend. And you get OG Anunoby at the shooting guard. I would love this trade for that circumstance. And to me, for Toronto, yeah, you could do this trade because you get the 8th pick, which is going to be a good young player to go along with Van Vliet, Siakam, Scotty Barnes. Yeah, I would not mind this trade one bit. But again, like I said, please note, operable word here is a big fat friggin' if. It is a big if, so we'll see if he's available. The Pacers, we just got lucky that Tyrese was available. A 4-team extravaganza with Phoenix, Brooklyn, Detroit, and San Antonio. Phoenix receive Jeremy Grant, Jakob Poeltl, Josh Richardson. San Antonio receive DeAndre Ayton, Dario Saric, Cameron Payne, in the 9th pick. Brooklyn receives Torrey Craig into DeAndre Jordan trade exception. The 46th pick, a 2024 second round pick via San Antonio. That's intriguing. What worries me when it comes to Phoenix's trade is the rebounding aspect. Yes, Jeremy Grant is able to stretch the floor. They went and signed JaVale McGee. You're getting rid of DeAndre Ayton and Dario Saric and Cameron Payne. Torrey Craig is a good guard forward because he was on the Pacers. He was good, a solid defending shooting guard, small forward combo. But yeah, you're losing two solid players in Dario Saric, who has been a journeyman player, to get Jeremy Grant. Actually, never mind. I was not paying attention. You get Jakob Poeltl, who has been progressing as a player with San Antonio. That's not a bad trade then. You're going to get a guy that can stretch the floor in Jeremy Grant. He's gotten better every year since his Denver Nuggets days. And Josh Richardson, who has kind of regressed since his Miami Heat days. Or since his Philadelphia days. Yeah, he's still pretty solid during his 76ers days, but Josh Richardson on the Heat was sick. And then he went to Boston, kind of fell a little bit short, but got a little bit better to San Antonio. But this is a really good trade for Phoenix, but you're losing so much depth when it comes to this trade, because Cameron Payne was a good backup for Chris Paul, so it's a good trade for Philly, because they're not going to want to trade or sign DeAndre Ayton from what I'm seeing. So it's a good trade. San Antonio get their big in DeAndre Ayton and a good. Would they have him start? Because I heard that the San Antonio is not a big fan of Doug McDermott. He's been hurt. He's getting $18 million a year, so you could probably have Dario Saric at the 4. So like Keldon Johnson to the 3. You have Dwante Murray, Lonnie Walker, Joshua Primo still as some young guards. This would be an excellent trade because you get your big that you've been needing that could get you to that next level. They've been, since that Duncan Robinson, Tim Duncan and Duncan. Evidently, I need to get some sleep because I cannot think of. It's not Duncan Robinson. Goodness gracious. Why can't I think of the Admiral's name? It's Robinson. What in the hell is his name? The Admiral. David Robinson. Ooh, wow. Evidently the heat's starting to get onto me, I guess, as to why I'm sweating so much, or I'm just not thinking. I need to drink some more water, I guess, possibly. So you get your good center, not good, but great center. Just hadn't got the chance to really get his touches with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. I like this a lot for San Antonio. You're giving up Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson. That's it. Why the hell not? That's really it. I don't know why Detroit needs the 9th pick. Well, I guess they would want the 9th pick because in this circumstance, Jeremy Grant is the key player that's getting traded. San Antonio's only giving up Yoko Portal and Josh Richardson. They're getting the better player in DeAndre Ayton versus Cameron Payne. So in this circumstance, the Pistons would get Cameron Payne, who is a solid backup point guard who was looking like he was going to be out of the league. Went to Phoenix, got really good in last year's playoffs. But him compared to Aiden and Dario Saric, yeah, I could see why they would want that ninth pick along with Cameron Payne. So again, draft capital, you get a backup point guard for Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes. That's a dub. That's a huge dub for you, Miss Christy Flakes. Brooklyn Nets get Torrey Craig, the 46th pick, and a 2024 second round pick. Why are they in here for? Not really into the DeAndre Jordan trade exception. Oh, with this trade, or with this right here, it's DeAndre Ayton trade exception. Okay. A good defending, or a great defending guard forward for them. I like that because he tore up the Brooklyn Nets at the beginning of the season. This past year, he was on the Pacers and he had a career high 27 points. He went like 7 of 11 on threes. So this is a good trade. They be able to get 2 second round picks along with Torrey Craig. Why the hell not? So okay. This is where I like those previous trades. I didn't really read into them all that much. I wanted to see where my Pacers were at, and this is an interesting trade. Portland receive Malcolm Brogdon, Miles Turner. The Indiana Pacers receive Eric Bledsoe. His contract is so rough. It is so rough. Keon Johnson. I would love Keon Johnson. The 7th pick in the draft. And the 2025 first round pick for Milwaukee. I'll tell you this much right now. If Portland fans with Damian Lillard, Fernie Simons, Nusuf Nurkic, if you guys want to take this trade, I will gladly accept it. I would love this trade for the Pacers. I'll tell you this much right now. Portland fans, you're going to be pissed off. I will be straight up honest. This trade long term would piss you the hell off. Yes, Miles Turner leads the league in blocks when healthy. Leads the league in blocks when healthy. Like 3 blocks a game. He's going to be a monster on that. He can stretch the floor for you guys. Malcolm Brogdon, when healthy, 50, 40, 90 guy. He has a good defending guard. Or not even good, but he's a great defending guard when playing against bigger guys. When playing against like a Fernie Simons, or having a defending guard that's smaller, he gets torched, but then you have Damian Lillard on him because he's a lot faster than Brogdon. When healthy, he'd be a great fit for you guys. That's the thing, though. When healthy for both of these guys is the key thing, because Turner missed half the season. Malcolm Brogdon missed half the season. This is a huge risk for you guys, because to me, I would be willing to take Eric Bledsoe's contract. I would love to get Keon Johnson. And to be honest, I would take either I would love to get the 7th pick in the draft. But if the Portland Trailblazers like you can only get the 2025 first round pick, I'd be perfectly fine with that, along with these 2 young, with not young. Eric Bledsoe's not young, but Keon Johnson with Eric Bledsoe and the 2025 first round pick, and you guys get 2 injury-prone players. As a Pacer fan, I would be ecstatic to get this trade. I after what has transpired for the Indiana Pacers for the past 4 years, with the injuries, it's time for us to let go. The what ifs, it's time to move on. It hurts seeing it because the what ifs I do want to see the what ifs actually transpire into us having a full healthy season with everybody, TJ Warren, Malcolm Brogdon, Miles Turner, but it just hasn't happened. And in this scenario, I would do this in a heartbeat. And so to me, Indiana Pacers win this trade because of the injuries of Malcolm Brogdon and Turner. You're looking at 82 games combined that you've missed. I love both players, but it's time for us as Indiana Pacers fans to move on. I would love to get Keon Johnson. Oh my God, the kid seems like he's going to be phenomenal. Jazz and Clippers broker a wing for guard deal. Utah Jazz receive Marcus Morris Sr. and the Clippers get Jordan Clarkson. Jazz win this easily. I looked at this one too. The Jazz win this easily. You had one exceptional year from Jordan Clarkson, who was 6th man of the year. He was getting you bucket after bucket after bucket, getting you like 15 plus points off the bench. He is so much like Buddy Hield, Doug McDermott, the guards that they are getting paid to shoot 3-pointers. It's starting to catch up with them, because if you're not hitting your shot, what are you going to do after that? If your shot is not connecting, what is your next step as a player? Are you going to help get rebounds, defend? Are you going to facilitate and help your teammates get better? This past year showed evidence that when, like, my Indiana Pacers, when it comes to Buddy Hield, I know he was doing the same thing with Sacramento. When your shot is not connecting, it's haunting certain teams, and Jordan Clarkson was one of those players. Marx Morris, his defense is kind of shaky. I will straight up say that. It's dirty, but yet when he is actually wanting to play defense and not be dirty about it, he's really good. He can shoot 3-pointers. He's gotten better than his brother. His brother, when they first started their careers, Markieff got traded to the Wizards. He was by far the better brother. He was hitting threes, getting rebounds. He was a stud on the Wizards, Markieff. And then he kind of regressed. Marcus went to Detroit, got really, really good, and both of them kind of teetered off. Both of them are dirty players. Yes, they both can shoot threes, but they don't really do much outside of defense. It's a weird circumstance with both of them, because when they first started their career, they were both on Phoenix together, and then they got traded. They've been quite the journeyman players. Let me look at them real quick, and then I'll probably end this video. I want to look at their journeyman years, what teams all they've been on. Marcus Morris. Let's see where he's all been at. What teams all have you been on there, Marcus? He was on Houston? Okay. He was on Houston his first year. He played 17 games. Then he got traded to Phoenix. That's where he played with his brother in 2012, 2013. Went to Detroit, went to Boston, went to New York, and then the past 3 years he's been with the Clippers. And then Markieff, I think, has been even more of a journeyman. Markieff Morris has been more of a journeyman player than his brother, if I remember correct. Phoenix, and then he got traded to Washington, where he was an absolute stud. His best years were with Washington at 14 points a game in 2016-2017 season. No, that's not his best year. His best year was 2014-2015 at 15 points a game. But still, probably efficiency-wise, 49%. Actually, where did I go? 49% efficiency, 36% from 3. On 2.6 attempts, he made 0.9. 45% from the field, which was actually he's averaged about 40% from the field, which is decent. But his best 3-point year was that year? No. 36% or 38% in 2019-2020, 38%. Then he was on Detroit for 44 games, and then he got traded to the Lakers. But during his Detroit times, he was shooting 39%. But anyways, he's on Phoenix. Then he went to Washington, got traded to Oklahoma City. Then he got traded again to Detroit. He went to the Lakers, and then he went to Miami. So he has been more of the journeyman player. But I think... Oh, back to the whole spiel was that Clippers already have Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson, and so I think them getting Jordan Clarkson could help them, but he's inconsistent on his shot. He's been inefficient since his 6-man year. I like it more so for the Jazz to do this trade, that because you are freeing up quite a bit of salary cap, because Jordan Clarkson's making a lot coming off the bench, and you get a good wing / small forward, power forward, and Marcus Morris along with Bogdanovich. So I'd prefer this for the Jazz and the Clippers. But like I said, this is going to be today. The day that I am recording this is going to be the day that is going to be uploaded. As I'm talking, it's still being processed for House Flipper, and then shortly after this video is also uploaded and processed, I'll be recording Pokemon for tomorrow and Friday, doing a video for Saturday of House Flipper, and we'll just be altering days of Pokemon and House Flipper. But with all this being said, guys, I'm in this video right here. I'll talk to you guys later.